Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Madness here on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Roland F. Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleMania week. We're still in on the road to WrestleMania. 4 nights. Well, actually, now 3 nights from now, officially, the jump off of WrestleMania. Night one on Saturday, night two on Sunday. Tomorrow night, a very special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN on this very channel as we do Stand and Deliver, and we will preview both nights of WrestleMania. We'll get in that a little bit later on. We'll do that on the future content later on this evening. However, there is actually Stand and Deliver, the go home show for Stand and Deliver for NXT. And of course, we got AEW Dynamite on the show here tonight. So let's dive right on in. So we started it off with NXT last night, and this was the big one, guys. It was the triple threat that would decide the number one contenders for the NXT tag team titles and who would be facing off with the Wolf Dogs at Stand and Deliver, as it was Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the Good Brothers, and Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild representing the LWO, winners of the bout. In 10 minutes and 48 seconds, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they've won it all. They are now the number one contenders for the NXT tag team titles. They will be facing off with Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker Saturday afternoon at Stand and Deliver for the NXT tag team titles. It's solid opener. I would say about 3 is my rating. And it was a good matchup. Everybody did really well in the matchup. You know, this is one of those where this could have gone a number of ways. Obviously, LWO probably was the odd man out because they still got a rivalry with Legado del Fantasma. So, honestly, we weren't going to see that. Good Brothers, though, I thought they were going to win this. I honestly thought Good Brothers were going to win it, and they would have been the ones to go up against Breaker and Corbin at Stand and Deliver. But no, they decided to give it to Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They given them the big moment, which is, I'm not going to say a big surprise, but it did raise an eyebrow, at least in my eyes. I kind of felt like that was kind of a little bit of an interesting development, but I'm not mad with the outcome. I mean, like I said, you could have picked any one of these 3 teams; it would still be a solid bout. But for Axiom and Nathan Frazier to get the moment, well, we'll see how it plays out. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, it is yours.
Yes, this was everything it promised to be. The action was fast and exciting. Nathan Frazier showed out, especially with his impressive speed. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson played the hated heels at the center, attacked by both other teams consistently. While Frazier and Axiom were the right team to win, it was a genuine surprise. NXT has teased Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus the Good Brothers repeatedly over the past months. The Speedsters will deliver something special in a return match from the best bout of the Dusty Classic. This is a chance to switch the titles to a worthy NXT exclusive duo before Breaker and likely Corbin head to Friday Night SmackDown. Frazier and Del Toro dived onto the OC during their entrance. Frazier hit a moonsault on Gallows and Wild outside, followed by Anderson dumping Axiom onto both of them. Anderson and Cruz Del Toro jumped onto the pile. The OC ducked Del Toro and hit him with the Magic Killer, but the rest of the field broke up the attempt at pinfall. And then MF, your girl, Kelly Kincaid, interviewed the winners after the bout, and they promised to pull out their craziest offense at Stand and Deliver. So for me, this was the fight of the night. I'm giving this a solid 3.5 stars. Excellent match, and a surprise outcome. I mean, I thought the Good Brothers were going to win this thing, but no. They gave it to the NXT tag team here. because both of these teams are the other two teams are main roster tag teams. They're both from SmackDown, so a genuine surprise to say the very least. And my goodness, I mean, those four are going to give us a stand and deliver worthy bout come Saturday afternoon. So 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 for me, and this was my fight of the night, no question about it. So, Michael Bullock, how about it? Biggest win for Nathan Frazier and Axiom as a team. Could it lead to an even bigger win on Saturday afternoon?
Well, only time will tell if it happens. I mean, they're going to go in as major underdogs because, I mean, you're going up against the champs, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, who have the strength, while these two are all about their speed and agility. And I think that's going to be the key here, guys, in this match. I mean, they got to use their speed and their agility. They cannot match power with the champs, because if they do, they're going to get pushed around by the champs, and they'll remain the champs. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, this was a surprise outcome. I mean, I'm with you. I thought the Good Brothers were gonna be the ones to challenge them, but this was a surprising outcome. So yeah, 3.5 stars for me. And yes, this was the fight of the night for me. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Next up we had was Fallon Henley going one-on-one with JC Jane. JC Jane wins the match in roughly 4 minutes. But then after the match, during the match, it was just pure chaos. You had Kalani Jordan, you had Thea Hale out there, you had Jasmine Nix, you had Izzy Dane, and you had Kiana James. After the match was over, basically, JC Jane cut in a promo, basically, just saying that she never needed Thea Hale, never needed Chase University. I'm the reason why you guys are still afloat. Well, Ava was like, all right, we got to move the show along. Get out of here. You said enough. Then Thea fired up, looking for a fight, the whole 9 yards. And Ava basically, at that point, she was in meltdown mode. She was sick and tired of the BS. She's like, okay, I've had it with this. You three versus them three, stand and deliver, Saturday afternoon, get out of my sight. I'm done. Well, it's happening. Anthony Florio.
I wonder where she got this from.
Huh?
I wonder where she got this from. Oh yeah, her father, the final boss.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, Michael Bullock, don't you think don't you think that she basically had no choice? She got pushed. I mean, she's trying to run a show here, and she got all that going on. I probably would have been the same way. Like, okay, enough. I'm done with this. Just settle it in the ring.
She basically was. I mean, she tried everything she could to get this under control, and she's like, you know what? I'm done with this BS. We're gonna settle it the proper way. You three against you three. Now get the hell out of my sight.
Glory is yours.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's all set here. So,
4 minutes was the time of the fall.
All right. 2 stars. This did not have enough time to feel like more than an extended angle, but Fallon Henley was working hard to make the most of the time. These two could revisit this with title implications later in the year. However, this was all about setting up the 6-woman tag team match for Stand and Deliver that was teased last week. JC Jane, Kiana James, Izzy Dame, and Jasmine Nix have an unclear alliance. They could just be heels working together temporarily or a growing stable. But this feud has made it clear why fans should root for Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley to make them pay. Thea Hale came out in full cowgirl attire, complete with a hat that was nearly too big for her. Kalani Jordan also barely stopped her from attacking JCJ multiple times. Jasmine Nix was wearing a sling from Thea Hale's Kimura last week. Hale and her full crew gloated backstage. Hale followed, begging Ava to let her at Jane, and Ava booked a 6-woman tag for Stand and Deliver. Couldn't have booked that any more perfectly. Solid 2 for me. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, 6-woman tag at Stand and Deliver. And by the way, this match was 2 stars even.
Yeah, 2 stars even on this one. I mean, too short for my liking, but yeah, all that craziness afterwards, and yeah, I mean, Ava just basically had enough of this, and basically that's why she booked this, and they're gonna settle it at Stand and Deliver. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. It's your split.
It is a 2-star. Look, Ava, I got to commend her on that one because she was backed into a corner, and you could tell she was annoyed. She wants to keep the show going. She wants to keep it moving. You know, you got 2 hours. You know, this is go home. Just Stand and Deliver. I can't have any of this BS. I can't have any of this stupidity. Running around, running amok. We gotta get this show moving because we got a lot to get done. And basically, 6 women basically just commandeered that segment, and that's one of the rare things. It's not every day we get to see someone in power like that in the gorilla position. Very rare do we get to see, because normally Ava is always in the back, in the office, whatever. And this was one of those times where Ava was basically in gorilla position, chilling in the back and just like, okay, I've had enough of this. Get out. And then everything just went down, and she just you could just see the steam coming out of the ears, like she was not having it. She was getting a little peeved, like, I'm trying to get the show on the road, folks. Come on. So props to Ava doing the right thing. Obviously, that's the right call. That's the right decision. It had to happen. It had to happen. All right. So, with that said, next up we had was Lexis King versus Von Wagner. Lexis King wins the match in 6 minutes. Michael Bullock, Von Wagner looking for some revenge after what happened to Mr. Stone, and Lexis King took his over aggressiveness and made him pay. Lexis King with a big win over Von Wagner.
Yeah, I'll give this about maybe 2.5 on this one. I mean, Von Wagner, or like you said, was hoping for some payback, but Lexis King had other ideas and basically one-upped the big guy. So yeah, so a big win for Lexis King, but yeah, if you're Von Wagner, it's like, now what? So there's really nothing more for me to say. It's your Fletch.
Yeah, 2 stars. It was an okay match. It was a little clumsy. It wasn't perfect in every part of the match. There was some bits and pieces where there was some mistakes. There was some. It wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, I'll openly admit the right man won. I'm not going to be too about it. So really, nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, it is a 2 star, so it's yours.
Yeah, 2 for me as well. This feud continues despite the lack of chemistry between Lexis King and Von Wagner. Both men need momentum, but they are canceling each other out with 50-50 booking. There will almost certainly be a final fight between the two to settle who is better. But despite the best efforts of both men, this rivalry lacks any excitement. Hopefully, at least Von Wagner could come out looking a little more credible, as he is running out of chances to shine in NXT. King taunted Wagner ahead of their match, confident the big man could not beat him without Mr. Stone. So there's really nothing else we need to talk about on this one. Somewhere in that 2 to 2.5 area for me. So with that being said, MF, if you noticed, we had a lot of women's matches last night, and here comes another one right now.
Yeah, it was Carmen Petrovic going one-on-one with Lola Vice. Oh, by the way, Carmen wasn't alone. She had Natalia in her corner. Well, that didn't really help on this one, as Lola Vice wins the match via submission in 4 minutes, as she basically thumbs it in the nose of the Hart family, as Lola puts Carmen in the sharpshooter. Oh my goodness, the disrespect in the room. And I honestly could see a little bit of a steamed attitude from one Anthony Florio, because we know how much the Hart family means to Florio. And I know set a little bit of a trigger, but
That's not a
hey,
Jesse laugh. That's not a Jesse laugh. That's
I know he's got a bone to pick with Lola Vice.
oh
you can't see it on. I'm not turning my camera on, but if you saw my camera right now, trust me, you would see flames in my eyes right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, man. It's one thing if you win the match by a submission, but to steal the signature submission hold of the Hart family and to do it in front of the Queen of Hearts, in front of Natalia on NXT, the levels of disrespect is at a all-time high. I mean, the sure blasphemous or blasphemy that Lola Vice did here on this show. Look, I'm not gonna say it was a great match, because it wasn't. It was short. It was not great. It was fine for what it was worth, but the match itself could have been better. I don't mind that Carmen did what she had to do. I didn't mind Natalia being there. But Lola gets a nice victory over Carmen, but the rivalry just got taken to a whole new level. This is about maybe 1.5 stars, just to be very fair on this. But I know Anthony Florio, the minute he saw that sharpshooter locked in by Lola, he must have been like, oh, heck no. No, you did not just do that. Absolute disrespect. You know me. I'm kind of somewhat the proxy heel of NXT on this one. Lola, please do that again. It's all I'll say. Nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
And Michael Bullock, that's just that was the vintage MF beautiful woman girl that I have told you about in all of our chats. You never heard it, but tonight that might have been the first. So we'll get to you in a minute. But for me, all right, I'll get to my personal feelings in just a minute. But let me put the analyst hat on here. NXT has stumbled into a perfect rival pairing with Lola Vice and Carmen Petrovic. They look smooth together, trading strikes until Vice showed why she is the better fighter for now. With only 4 minutes, though, this came off too one-sided to establish Petrovic as a real threat to Vice. That is understandable for now, but should not be the case forever. It seems like Natalia will stick around in NXT, setting up a rematch with Lola Vice that will mean more when the time is right. Maybe post Stand and Deliver. Petrovic nearly picked up the win after a spin kick to the back. Vice responded with a back elbow that nearly knocked Petrovic out cold. All right, now, couple things. First off, I think Natalia going to NXT for a little bit, I think that could do wonders for her. And I think it'll do wonders for the women's division as well. They could definitely benefit from her almost 16 years of experience, because it was right around this time 16 years ago that Natalia made her WWE debut when she was a part of that tag team with Victoria. So I believe that all of those girls will benefit exponentially from Natty's experience, and Natty could use a little seasoning herself. I mean, they don't really have anything for her on the main roster right now, and I can certainly understand that. She was starting to get a little bit lost in the shuffle. So maybe some time in NXT could, get her back up and running again. But oh, Lola Vice. Oh man. Using the Hart family sharpshooter right in front of Natalya. The move that both of her uncles, Brett and Owen, made famous. And even Natalya made famous herself. And to do that in front of her, that's definitely that does not sit well with me at all. I got the flames in my eyes right now. That's how PO'd I am about this. And I could go all 97 Bret Hart on that, but nobody wants that. So I'll try to keep this as clean as I possibly can. So but young lady, I know you're a young whippersnapper. I get it, but the thing is, you should be aware of an expression known as "don't poke the bear." You just poked the bear in the Queen of Hearts, the first and only female graduate of the Stu Hart Dungeon. And the Stu Hart Dungeon, not easy. I can tell you stories upon days about how brutal those training sessions were. Those were sessions in hell. Trust me. When it comes to the any training session, any sparring session you had in that legendary Stu Hart Dungeon in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Have a session down there. Yeah. If you had a session down there, you wouldn't make it out alive, honey. Trust me on that when I tell you. So, and especially if Stu Hart was still around. Oh. Uncle Stu, oh boy, what he would have done. That's all I can say on that. But we'll leave that for another day and another time. But for right now, I'm going to give the match 2 stars. I'm going to be a little bit more generous than MF was. Teetering on 2.5. A fun little sprint for me. And that's really all I can say. And it's definitely leading to a Lola and Natty matchup down the line. Post Stand and Deliver. So 2 to 2.5 from me for this one. A fun little sprint here. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, Lola gets the win using the Hart family sharpshooter. Definitely doesn't sit well with me. I know it doesn't sit well with you either. But on the other hand,
doesn't.
And on the other hand, you got to hear MF's little girl for the first time. How about it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna touch that. That's MF's thing. So, yeah, I'll give it 2 stars as well. I mean, yes, it definitely could have been better, but the thing is, I mean, yeah, Lola Vice, I get you're cocky and you're arrogant and all that, but the flat out disrespect you had to do by using a move that was made famous by the legendary Hart family, the sharpshooter, one that Anthony Florio's all-time favorite Bret the Hitman Hart uses, and the one Natalya uses, and to do it in front of Natalya. I mean, if you thought Florio had flames in his eyes, how about Natalya, for gosh sakes? I mean, you know that did not sit well with her. And you know that, and I'll say this right now, Florio, if and when she gets that sharpshooter on Lola Vice, here's what I think should happen. She should not let go of it. She because Natalya would say, you want to disrespect me? You want to disrespect my family? I'm going to make you feel that pain. So, Lola, as the late great Gorilla Monsoon once said, don't start something that you can't finish. So, she may have started something that she might not be able to finish. Because you don't want to deal with a pissed off Natalya. And I guarantee you right now, she is pissed off. So, 2 stars for me. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, so next up we had was a promo segment, as it was the Metaphor Supernova Sessions, as we had, well, the 2 women that are going to be battling it out for the NXT women's title, the challenger, Roxanne Perez, the champion, Lara Valkyria. And, well, unfortunately, it did not end well for the champ. She went through a table, a little mini, little coffee-style tables, but went through it. And Roxanne Perez stood tall with the title in hand. Who leads off? Is this Florio? Is this yours, or is this Bullet?
Actually, it was Lyra Valkyria who stood on top of Roxanne Perez.
You sure about that?
Lyra got over on Roxanne.
Lyra
got over on Roxy.
So she put Roxy through.
Yes.
I think we all know what that means now, don't we?
Booking 101.
Now,
yep.
Well, wait, hold. Because remember what she said at the end to her buddy, to Tatum? She'll do whatever it takes to keep the belt.
True.
Does she lean on Tatum to screw Roxanne over again? We'll find out tomorrow. We'll put the official prediction down tomorrow. But until then, I believe this goes to Anthony, so Florio is yours.
All right. Lyra Valkyria refused to take Roxanne Perez's complaint seriously. This frustrated the prodigy until she threw a punch. The Valkyrie responded with a fireman's carry slam through the coffee table. Metaphor, especially Noam Dar, had fun watching the drama unfold in this final battle of words. Both women delivered, selling the clear story of this rematch. The post-promo brawl was less interesting as it was too limited to the Supernova Session stage. Given the story that led to this moment, this could have been a more elaborate brawl to tease the title match. Still, this is easily the second strongest story for NXT going into Stand and Deliver. The stage is set for Roxy to take back the Women's Championship and hopefully get the title reign she deserves should she win it. Metaphor sat back and enjoyed the drama as Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez threw jabs at each other. Noam Dar cheered when the action broke down, and the punch of Roxanne Perez landed flush on Lyra Valkyria and drew blood. So, I probably would say maybe second best segment of the night here. There was one I thought was just a smidgen better, but this was a very good segment here. And if I'm going to be honest with you, we're looking at the second best match of Stand and Deliver. I think this could go down as the second best fight of the night. I think we all know which match is going to steal the damn show. We already know which match that is. And we'll talk about that match at the end. But for right now, second best segment of the night for me. So not much more to say on it. So Michael Bullock, if anybody didn't really have all that much excitement going into this women's title match, that excitement level went sky high after last night. I know mine did.
Oh, yeah, it did for me, too. Roxanne Perez, playing playing the part where people should be feeling sorry. Well, for her saying, "Oh, I got screwed out of this. Oh, I got screwed out of that," and Lyra Valkyria wasn't hearing it. She said the next time you'll be bitching is when I beat your ass at Stand and Deliver, because you guys saw that promo last week. Roxanne, that pretty girl that we saw at the very beginning, she's gone. She's dead. There's only one person that Roxanne Perez cares about, and that's herself. And Lyra, I think, is she's sick of all this and basically put her through the coffee table and basically shut her up. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. I'll say the second best segment of the night as well. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, it was fine for what it was worth. It did get the fire. It did get the intensity. It got a lot of people talking. Was it the perfect segment though? Most likely not. But I can live with it. It was what it was. But I'll say this: it's gonna be interesting to watch. It's gonna be very interesting to see on Saturday how that plays out. So nothing more to say. Obafemi going one-on-one with Joe Gacy. Obafemi beats down Joe Gacy to the point that the fight ends in 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Referee throws the X up, meaning Gacy is hurt. However, from what I've heard, it is a storyline. This was not there is no legit injury on Joe Gacy. This was a storyline X just to show how badass Obafemi is. And basically memo sent to his two challengers for the North American title at a Stand and Deliver. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
What are we talking about here?
Obafemi versus Joe Gacy. Femi wins in 3:45.
Yeah, I'll give this about 1.5 stars for this. I mean, this is basically just to show Obafemi that he is a legitimate threat to, I mean, especially to his challengers, Josh Briggs and Dijak. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
I really got nothing much to say on this one. This was exactly what it needed to be, a domination, showing how Obafemi, how badass this dude is, and how amazing he is in the ring right now. Obafemi is without a doubt the most over guy in NXT right now, other than the main event guys that we'll talk about later on. But Obafemi looked amazing in his performance, domination. Really nothing more to say. Joe Gacy didn't even stand a chance in this fight, and Obafemi just absolutely put, and Michael Bullock just said it, Josh Briggs and Dijak both on notice. You'll get my thoughts tomorrow on who I think is going to win, but to me, it's pretty academic. Florio, it's yours.
Oh, yeah. Sean Spears blasted Joe Gacy with a steel chair during his entrance and questioned whether he was laughing now. Joe Gacy still wanted to fight, and Obafemi threw him around until the referee called off the match. With hope that the ending was intentional and Gacy is all right, this was an exciting sprint built on the explosive offense of the competitors. Gacy especially clicked with Femi early. This was the way to keep building Femi, who was challenged but never truly lost control of the action. He remains unstoppable, walking into a match with two scary big men who are still not at his level. Gacy versus Spears is moving quickly. Hopefully, it will establish the heel's new gimmick. NXT showed video packages for Josh Briggs and Dijak, which Femi watched before his match. Femi chopped Gacy's chest so loud that it echoed through the arena. It was almost Gunther-like. The champion caught Gacy during the upside down and planted him off of Snake Eyes. Afterward, Femi confronted both Briggs and Dijak backstage. And then in Ava's office, Gacy begged her for a match with Sean Spears at Stand and Deliver. And Ava Grant approved his request. Joe Gacy, Sean Spears on the kickoff show, the countdown show for Stand and Deliver. So that match will whet your appetite for Stand and Deliver on Saturday afternoons. So, excuse me. So, not much more to say here. 1.5 to 2 is the rating. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Obafemi. Oh, Bullock already led off. So let's
Bullock led off. Ariana Grace going up against Ren Sinclair. This was stemmed from a backstage moment where basically, Ariana had all these dresses, all these outfits that was meant for Gigi. Obviously the makeover and everything else. And Ren kind of felt like, don't get me wrong, I think what you're doing is absolutely wrong. Why are you trying to turn somebody who's already naturally beautiful, like she doesn't need this thing? Well, whoa. Ariana gets absolutely offended. When I mean offended, she goes off the deep end, basically saying that what you're saying is fighting words. And even Red's like, what? Fighting words? Okay. Sure enough, Ariana went to Ava, pleaded that about the disrespect and that she wanted a match. Ava's probably at the point she's like, yeah, sure, okay, fine, whatever. You guys want to fight, fight. If that's gonna help us get ready for these matches, fine. I'm good with it. So we get the match, and Ariana wins the match in 3 minutes and in a roughly 4 minutes. It was okay for what it was worth. There was really nothing amazing about the match. And plus, on top of that, she basically schoolgirls her and then puts her feet on the ropes. Oh my goodness. Can I just say Vic Joseph was absolutely incensed at the end of the match, and Booker T's like, "What? Wait, what are you talking about? What's wrong? What's wrong?" He's like, "You didn't see what I just saw?" He's like, "No, man. I thought that was fine. There was nothing wrong with that." Really, Book? Really? Nothing wrong? You didn't see the feet on the rope? Like this literally would be a funny moment.
He was probably like, hey, the referee didn't see it, so if he didn't see it, then that means it didn't happen.
Well, I was gonna say, you flipping out, saying, can you believe this injustice? I'm the heel commentator of the NXT group. I'll be like, what? Well, actually, who is the heel commentator? Is
I
it
am.
it is you. Huh?
I'd be giving Bullet the riot out. I'd be saying I didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
And I also would have said brilliant.
Yeah. And absolutely, I would be. So this is one of those cases where, holy cow, are you kidding me? She stole the fight like that? Yeah, she stole it. So it was fine for what it was worth. Maybe another about 1.5 stars because it was only a 4-minute fight. So Florio, it's yours.
Ariana Grace's over-the-top reactions do wonders in selling the offense of her opponents. She made Ren Sinclair look better than anyone else has so far. This could have gone longer, but it was a memorable sprint. While this contest was thrown together at the last minute, it felt like an important turning point for both women. Ariana Grace is becoming the kind of veteran who can elevate her rivals, and Ren Sinclair is starting to put it together in the ring. NXT is waiting to reveal the evolution of Gigi Dolan. While it is important to make the most of the moment, it is surprising there aren't more comedy vignettes with her and Ariana Grace. Booker T compared Ariana Grace to his wife, Sharmell, as a beauty queen who could become scary when ready to fight. And Ren Sinclair left a red handprint on Ariana Grace with a loud chest chop. 1.5 to 2. That's the theme of the night for a lot of these matches here tonight. So not much more to say there. And Bullock, as I said on the commentary there, while you were going crazy saying, "Hey, that's not right," you were like, "You're like, come on, Florio, that's not right." And I said, "Brilliant." You weren't having that.
Yeah, if we were doing the commentary, I would be doing that. So, but yeah, I agree. 1.5 for me on this. So, not much more to say on it. So, it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah. So, right after that, obviously we had a little vignette thing, as this was basically the supper, the dinner, all throughout the day. They were hyping up Ilya Dragunov and Tony D'Angelo. No physicality, no physicality. But there was one moment where he did press down on that hand, that injured hand of Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov kind of wincing in pain. But that was really the only, I guess you could say, the only thing of physicality that we had. Thank God we didn't really need any blows or a beat down or anything like that. Let these two men get ready. Let them fight. We'll get the battle and the war. And I can't wait for that to happen more than anything else. So it was fun for what it was worth. Next up, we did have on the show the last match of the evening, as it was Sol Ruca going one-on-one with Blair Davenport and Sol Ruka, winning the match in 9 minutes and 17 as she basically got her with the roll-up. I thought she was going to hit her with the Soul Snatcher, but she didn't do it. She got the roll-up for the win. Anthony, it is yours.
What was the time of the fall?
9:17.
Second best fight of the night. Yes. 3 to 3 1/4. In the biggest match of her career, Sol Ruka absolutely delivered. This was her longest bout ever and sold the animosity between these two that made this worthy of the in-ring main event slot. It was slower than Ruka's best work, but that was intentional as the two sold the uncertainty of her left knee. Blair Davenport beat her down and pushed her to get smart to survive. Sol Ruka winning was a surprise, but this is not the end of the rivalry. Hopefully there will be a more definitive result down the line that can establish at least one woman as a future title challenger. Sol Ruka sold some uncertainty as Blair Davenport made her confident entrance. As the bell rang, Davenport laid her out with a shotgun dropkick. Ruka delivered a springboard splash on one leg as well as an impressive handspring DDT off the ropes. Second best fight of the night for me. 3 to 3 1/4 stars. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, no question about this. Easily the biggest win of Sol Ruka's career so far.
Yeah, this is definitely the biggest win for Sol Ruka so far, and a little bit of retribution for her because remember it was Blair Davenport when she was disguised as that hooded person that took out Sol Ruka and cost her 9 months of her career. So she gets the win and a little bit of payback as well. So 3 stars for me. It's yours, Fletch.
I'll go with the 3. I agree with that. Nothing more to say. The main event segment was the big one. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. They went face to face. Michael Bullock, we now know it. It is official. You're the one who mentioned it. Obviously, as Mr. NXT of the crew, the main event of Stand and Deliver will be Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. Well deserving for these two men. They've been lighting up NXT, and they get the biggest main event WrestleMania weekend. And many people are probably calling this possibly a top 5 match for the entire WrestleMania weekend. And some even says it could be possible this might be the match that, other than maybe Cody versus Roman on night 2, this could be the match that could surpass everything for WrestleMania.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the hype for this, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, with the way they built this rivalry and all the back and forth with these two. And I mean, Trick, I mean, he said it was his time, but Carmelo Hayes said, hey, as long as I'm on, you always take a back seat to me. But Trick wasn't taking that, and yeah, it was on. But yeah, congratulations to these two. They're going to be in the main event of Stand and Deliver. I mean, well deserving of it. I mean, but yeah, I mean, well, Fletch, I mean, all I can say is the hype, it's been there. Can these two deliver? That's going to be the main question. I know they will, but the thing is, can they actually live up to the hype?
I think they can, man. I mean, you know that when it comes to this event, this is without a doubt the biggest matchup heading into, the WrestleMania weekend. And this deserves the main event slot. This deserves the spot that they're getting. So I really got nothing more to say. This is going to be insane. The way that they cut the promos, the way that everything played out, was all good, absolutely ready to go, excitement. And then we got the jumper. That was going to be insane. Going into Mania, now we get these two in the main event. I mean, uh, normally, any other time, any other place, anything in the world, normally the NXT title would be the main event. But there's been special cases where a non-NXT title fight has been the main event. And this is one of those cases that it deserves the main event. The rivalry, the hatred, the story, the level of heat to the face, attitude. Are you ready to hear 18,000 fans yelling, "Whoop that trick" at Stand and Deliver at the Wells Fargo Arena in the Wells Fargo Center in the Philadelphia on Saturday afternoon? Because when that music hits, when Trick Williams come out, that place is gonna be jumping. He's without a doubt the most over guy, man. This is one of those times, honest to God, this is one of those times where I wish they would integrate some of the matches to the WrestleMania card. This Trick Williams versus Carmelo deserves to be actually on the WrestleMania stage. That should be actually at the link, not at Wells Fargo. Just me personally. Yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Segment of the night, no question about it. NXT protected this moment, avoiding putting Melo and Trick in the same ring to talk until this night. Both men delivered, explaining their points of view on this clash of former friends. While the Gold brand has built a strong card all around for Saturday, the presentation here made clear what matters most. Trick Melo gang will implode, and they have the company on their back. They need to deliver. It's possible for another match to steal the show, but this must be the moment when Trick comes off as a main event guy for good. The crowd raised the volume every time Melo tried to speak. Trick called out this match as the first WWE PLE main event on WrestleMania weekend to feature two black men. Awesome. So there's no question about it. And as far as MF is concerned, I agree. I believe Melo and Trick should have been given an opportunity at WrestleMania. I mean, it's a WrestleMania worthy match. So, and to put it in front of the 60 or however many thousand they're going to get at the link this weekend, yeah, they definitely deserve that spotlight. So, segment of the night for me. Bullet, did you go on this?
I think Michael Bullock's led off on it, so it goes back to me. Overall review, there was a lot of short matches. It was okay in certain areas, but I'm not overly excited about it. I'm just going to say I kind of feel like this was somewhat of a swing and a miss. It's 6 out of 10 for me. I thought they did a good job. It was good for Stand and Deliver, but I think they could have done better. I'm just going to be real with it. If I'm being a little harsh, I apologize. But Anthony Florio, it is yours.
I'm actually going to be a little more generous here. I'm going to give it about 7. As a pure episode of NXT, this was solid, especially in showcasing the depth of the women's division. Female wrestlers carried much of the night. However, as a hype package for Stand and Deliver, MF, you are correct when I say this go-home show was only partially successful. The final promo exchange between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams was everything it promised to be. The two sold themselves once more as NXT's top stars. Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez delivered a solid back and forth exchange of their own, even if the sell that the Valkyrie was changing because of the Prodigy did not work. Leaving Ilya Dragunov and Tony D'Angelo's final exchange to a pre-taped segment was disappointing, but the presentation was engaging. The rest of the card felt mostly secondary. Obafemi looks like a monster, but he is not as convincing on the mic. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, well, they only appeared briefly, though Nathan Frazier and Axiom sold the moment of their deserved number one contender win. 2 more matches were also announced at the last minute. Still, there is no doubt the stand and deliver card is special. Hopefully, the talent can deliver on their potential at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on Saturday afternoon. Solid 7 out of 10 for me. So, Mr. NXT, Michael Bullock, only fitting you have the final say before we get into AEW Dynamite in Worcester tonight.
Yeah, 6.5 for me. I mean, I thought it was a good enough. I'm not going to say it was great, but I thought But yeah, I mean, some of the short matches did hurt it a little, but I'm not going to really complain that much. So, 6.5. So let's get to AEW Dynamite.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to start with AEW Dynamite from the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. A place right around to the woods, not far from here. So we started it off with well, they did do a promo segment by Adam Copeland. Started off with Will Ospreay versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and Will Ospreay winning the match in 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Solid opener, good 3-star bout. I really enjoyed the matchup, to say the very least. It was good for what it was worth. Solid fight, and Ospreay winning the match. So yeah, really nothing more to say. So Anthony Florio, it's yours. Ospreay wins.
Yes, indeed. And Adam Copeland came out to kick off the show and talk to the crowd. He talked about watching WWF, Stampede, and NWA growing up because he loved all of it. And he said he came to AEW because there were a lot of first-time matches he could have. And this is the most fun he has ever had in his career. And he put over the AEW locker room quite a bit. He brought out Will Ospreay and shook his hand before making his exit so the Battle of Wills could take place. Powerhouse Hobbs had Don Callis with him for his entrance, and then Callis, of course, sat in with the commentary crew. 3.5 stars for this. This was a great encounter between two guys who have very different styles. Powerhouse Hobbs was a great base for the high flyer, while Will Ospreay did an excellent job making Hobbs look like a true badass. This was always going to be fun, but it may have even exceeded expectations for some. Hobbs kicked out of Ospreay's signature cutter, but he was unable to do the same after being hit with the hidden blade. Hobbs was angry after the match, and Callis tried to play peacemaker. And then Bryan Danielson came out as Ospreay was leaving for his own match against the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer just to steal some thunder, and we'll get into that in a moment. Adam Copeland kept having problems with the mic, but he made jokes about it. And Copeland is right. More companies mean more opportunities for everyone. And as far as the match is concerned, the way Will Ospreay sold Powerhouse Hobbs, knocking him out of the air, was fantastic. The suplex onto the steel steps was a great spot. And the landing to a DDT they hit looked a little rough. 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star for me. Great opener. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, 3.5 stars for the match. I mean, yeah, I thought it was a good match, and obviously the right person went over because obviously you want to keep the momentum going for Will Ospreay before his matchup with Bryan Danielson at Dynasty, which I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, a first time ever match with Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. It's going to be an early candidate for Fight of the Year with the body of work of these two. Now, when it comes to the Adam Copeland segment, I thought it was a good segment. He basically saying the reason why he came to AEW was for first time matches against guys that he's never seen, and he basically was putting over AEW because, come on, guys, I mean, you know what's been going on this week.
CM Punk on that, I believe it was on that MMA hour with Ariel Helwani, and he did not hold back his feelings about AEW.
Yeah, he basically took to AEW to town, and especially Tony Khan. So Adam Copeland was probably like, all right, you want to talk shit about AEW? Here's my rebuttal. It's actually a really good place. And Yeah, so this was basically like his rebuttal. So I would have been interested to see what CM Punk would have had to say about it. So
Who
I don't
knows?
know, man.
We might get that. We might get a rebuttal from CM Punk, maybe as early as maybe the WrestleMania kickoff. Because remember, he's going to be a part of it. So who knows?
Yeah, well, I really don't know who to believe more. I mean, look, AEW. I mean, when the wrestling is good, it can be right up there. But when it comes to all the backstage drama, that's a totally different story.
Well, the thing is, why would Punk lie about anything he said?
Yeah,
I
especially
mean,
after, especially.
I mean, why would he lie about anything at that point? I think, honestly, truthfully, normally I'm not, and I'll openly admit it, I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, but when he said what he said, I'm not going to say that there was anything wrong with the comment. To me, honestly, I think he had, you know, you just have to wait and see how it plays out. I think, honestly, you can't be I'm not going to call it anything wrong. It's just,
And it all stems from the whole backstage stuff with CM Punk and Jack Perry.
yeah.
That's where it all stems from. And we all called out Tony Khan for not being an actual leader, for trying to get things under control.
Believe it or not, CM Punk confirmed everything we thought. That's the crazier thing. And if you listen to what Jack Perry is saying, he, in a way, is confirming everything that Jack Perry said.
And the thing is, I mean, the suspension is up, but the thing is, he just refuses to return to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that tell you about Jack Perry's feelings for AEW?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he's bitter because he feels like Tony Khan didn't protect him that much, that he was more siding with CM Punk.
But if you remember what Punk said, he basically told Perry, like, hey, why don't you, where are you, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be a promoter. You're supposed to be the head guy. Do something about it, or I'm going to handle it. Tony Khan didn't handle it. Punks did what he did. I mean, he warned them. He warned them. So, I don't know.
And I'm gonna quote something from the Rock, like what he once said to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Jack Perry took his ball and went home.
Well, he didn't really take his ball and went home. He took the ball and went to New Japan. Is actually having a hell of a run right now in New Japan. Better than anything he did in AEW right about now.
He's basically saying, look, I don't need AEW.
No.
AEW needs me.
Yeah.
So screw AEW, screw Tony Khan, and screw everyone that works at AEW.
Pretty much. No, you're absolutely right. And that's exactly what he did. He basically, everybody thought he took his ball and went home. No, what he did was he went to Japan, is dominating there right now. He became their champion, one of their champions. He took one of their belts recently. He actually beat Hiroshi Tanahashi and took one of the belts away. So now he has one of the IWGP titles. So Jack Perry's done pretty well for himself.
And from what I've been hearing, he's the best heel right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, because they call him the Outlaw. He's gone rogue. And if you think about it, everybody's like, oh, where does he stand with AEW? He's got nothing to do with AEW. He had his actual AEW contract and ripped it to shreds right before our very eyes. So
I mean, how many people can say that they actually would do something like that? I mean, that wasn't a fake contract. That was real.
yeah,
That was basically him giving the middle finger to Tony Khan.
so I don't know. So we'll see. So did you give your thoughts about the match, Bullock?
Yeah, I did. I gave it 3.5.
So next up we had was Bryan Danielson versus Lance Archer. Bryan Danielson winning the match in 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
This was a fun encounter, but it may have been better. It may have been better to put more space between the two matches with powerhouses losing to underdogs. It's a minor complaint that takes nothing away from how good this bout was. I could go as far as to call this fight of the night if I wanted to. Solid 4 stars. Lance Archer is fine without Jake the Snake Roberts by his side. What he really needs is a few wins under his belt, though. Bryan Danielson is one of the few smaller guys who can convincingly strike down a bigger opponent. He has done such a great job establishing his legitimacy as a tough competitor that nobody bats an eye when he beats down someone much larger. Archer body slamming a crew member onto Danielson was pretty funny. And the way Danielson countered the blackout into a sleeper hold looked good. I could call this fight of the night if I wanted to. Solid 4 stars for me. So not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, if there's any doubt as to why Bryan Danielson is the best in the world, well, if Bryan Danielson is not the best wrestler in the world, tell me who is, because of the fact that he just took a guy like Lance Archer and gave him the match of his career tonight. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Oh, what did you give it, okay. Florio?
I rated it 4 stars. What do you say?
Yeah, I give it 4 stars as well. Bryan Danielson made Lance Archer look good. Even in defeat. But I'll tell you what. Both Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson have momentum going into their match at Dynasty, and if that's a prime example of what we're seeing, I think this could be the fight of the year. So, excuse me. So, yeah, there's really nothing more. Oh, thank you, Fletch. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. It's yours.
I was gonna do something from and Anthony Florio knows from way back when of the Muppet Babies. I was gonna say Snozzle Flax. That's their version of God Bless You.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that still. I still can't believe I remember that. Good grief. Anyway, 4 stars, absolutely amazing fight. What a jump. Great action, great battle. Yeah, Anthony Florio said it best. Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world, and there's not much to argue about that. Now, there's going to be some people that will take me to task on that. And Florio, there might be some people that might take you to task on that. Because there's going to be quite a debate on that greatest wrestling whatever. So
I should have said one of the best, not the best.
Well, no, because you definitely have an argument to say that you are the best in the world, because he is. There's no argument there. But I know there will be some people that would take us to task on it. But you made an opinion. That's your thoughts. If you believe that Danielson is the best in the world, I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not going to disagree with that. There's definitely an argument that you can say that he is the best in the world. No doubts. Nothing more to say. Florio. Well, actually, Anthony, you led off on it. So we'll move on. Billy Gunn versus Jay White. Billy Gunn winning the match in 11 minutes and 45 seconds via DQ because Bullet Club Gold jumped and attacked. Nothing more to say, Michael Bullock. It is yours.
Yeah, I'll give it about maybe 3 stars just because of the DQ finish. Obviously, Bullet Club Gold basically helping out Jay White, and yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, you really expect anything less from Jay White? I mean, especially you, Fletch. I mean, because we all know your disdain for Jay White, and as a matter of fact, I think you have a newfound hatred for him even more after he invaded Billy Gunn's home.
Don't even get me started. Do not even get me started.
Oh, my, I think that pretty much answers the question. So
yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So I'm just gonna give it to you, Fletch.
yeah. I was trying to get that out of my mind, and you just brought it right back up. I'm just saying. It was a fine match. It was okay. 3.5 stars. Solid battle. I'm taking a quarter point away because it ended in that bad ending. So this could easily have been 3.25. This is about 3.25 for me. So nothing more to say. Florio, was yours.
3.25 stars, absolutely. This match was fine for what it was. It had some fun moments, but nothing too memorable. And I don't really have any other extra observations to get into here, so I'll leave it at this. 3 to 3.25 for me. So it advances the Acclaimed and the Bang Bang Gang's feud here. So I think we're definitely looking at a trios match at Dynasty. So not much more to say. 3.25, move on.
All right. With that said, we do indeed move on, as it was the Young Bucks versus Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. It was the Young Bucks. They do advance to the finals for the vacated AEW Tag Team titles. But what was the biggest thing? Trent Beretta beats down Orange Cassidy. What the hell was that? Oh my God! He turned on his own best friend. Why? The nerve of you, Beretta. Why did you do that to Orange? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I was absolutely stunned after that happened. Blindside hit. Nothing more to say. Florio, another 3-star bout, but what the hell just happened?
What was the time of the fall first?
12:30.
Okay. 3.25 to 3.5. This was a solid encounter from 4 guys who have been consistently good performers for AEW since its inception. We got several great double team spots and even a fun moment with Mama Sue at ringside. The Bucks ended up defeating Best Friends to advance to the finals of the tag team title tournament by using an exposed turnbuckle to their advantage. As Best Friends prepared to do their group hug, Trent Beretta took out Orange Cassidy with a running lead. As Taylor looked on confused, he walked right past his own mother as he left. Chuck Taylor giving Sue her glasses so she could see the match was a cute moment. The way Beretta hit the ropes when he missed a crossbody was nasty. Beretta countering a Northern Light suplex with a tornado DDT was a great counter. The Bucks are great at overselling just enough. Mama Sue is the treasure and must be protected at all costs. The AEW fans embracing her has been great. Now, you want to know about the about the heel turn here. I'll tell you what. As a heel commentator, I would have pulled the $1 million man Teddy DiBiase from the '94 Rumble. I would have said the reason why he did it because he was sick and tired of being in the shadow of Orange Cassidy, and he wants to do things his own way. He wants to be his own man, and I say it's the smartest thing he ever did. And he's on it, and I see that young man going straight to the top. That's how I feel about it as a heel commentator. But as a man in general, as you know, a man who takes loyalty to friends beyond seriously, it does not sit well with me at all. I mean, it's one thing to attack the guy. I mean, if you're frustrated about the way things have been going, I can understand that. But what I will not forgive him for, dude, you blew off your own mother. And as someone who's a mama's boy myself, that's unforgivable. That was pointless. It was unnecessary, inexcusable, and beyond reprehensible.
They should disown him.
You, sir, are a self-serving ingrate. That's what you are. And you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, turning on your friends who have been there for you, who've been your damn near ride or die since day one, and you're gonna pull this BS? Nope. I'm sorry, no. I am not okay with it. I mean, from a professional standpoint, I can understand, wanting to, tweak the character a little bit. Fine, I get it. But from a personal standpoint, I have a big problem with this. And I am not okay with this. This is not okay at all. I mean, it's one thing to attack the guy, but you walk past your own mom, dude, what the hell is wrong with you, son? What the hell is wrong with you? Take a look in the mirror, and I guarantee you will not like what you see. Believe that. I know I damn sure wouldn't.
And the immoral words of Carlito, that's not cool.
Beyond not cool. No. And I'm sorry, man. So that's just how I feel about it. Great match, though. 3 1/4, 3 1/2. The outcome was expected. I had a feeling the Bucks were going to win this match, and frankly, don't be surprised if they end up winning the titles altogether to make up for, doing the honors for Sting at Revolution. So 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Michael Bullock, great match. Yes, I love the match, but I did not like the ending. Trent Beretta, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Look in the mirror, son. You're not going to like what you see. Trust me.
Yeah, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. I mean, what a match this was. But yeah, I get it. You're trying to make him as a heel, but to me, I'm with Fletch and I'm with Florio. This makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, it's one thing to to attack Trent Beretta. I mean, for Trent Beretta to attack Orange Cassidy, but to walk past your own mother, you, sir, you're a degrading son of a bitch. How in the world can I love my mother so much. I mean, heck, Anthony Florio loves his mom so much. And even Michael Fletcher. But would either of us do something like what Trent Beretta did? Florio, would you ever do that?
Hell no, I wouldn't. I would never forgive myself if I did. Never.
Fletch, would you ever do that?
No.
Yeah, you heard that from us, Trent Beretta. The three of us would never, ever in our wildest dreams do what you just did. That to me is unforgivable, it's unacceptable, and it's downright degrading. Look at yourself in the mirror, son, and you will not like what you see. So as far as I'm concerned, you're a degrading son of a bitch, and I hope when the best friends, when they regroup from this, they're going to beat your ass up, and by golly, you deserve every bit of that ass kicking that's going to be coming your way from Orange Cassidy, and when cleared, Chuck Taylor. Match was good, but this really didn't sit well with me. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, no, this was, I mean, you wanted to talk about disrespect, but I don't know, man. All right. So we got Thunder Rosa against Mariah May. Thunder Rosa wins 8 minutes and 45 seconds. There was nothing bad about it, but by default, this was the worst fight of the night. And it does give her the opportunity. She now gets to fight against the timeless one, Toni Storm, in a future AEW women's title match down the line. And yeah, it was maybe about about 2.5, 2 3/4. Florio, it's yours.
Perfect rating. Yes. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. This match was physical right out of the gate. They were not holding anything back and wanted to make sure they delivered a good in-ring main event. Thunder Rosa played the skilled veteran while Mariah May played the upstart talent looking to make her mark in this division. Easily the best performance Mariah May has given since joining AEW, and some of the credit for that can be given to Thunder Rosa. Lamira Mira scored the win as Storm looked shocked. Rosa dared her to put the title on the line right now, but the champion just stared at her speechless. This ended kind of abruptly and could have used a bit more time, but what we got was good. Toni Storm was incredible on commentary as always. Mariah May is stronger than she looks. She was holding Thunder Rosa on her shoulders with no issues. There was a moment when it looked like Rosa may have been hurt, but she recovered quickly. By default, the worst fight of the night, even though, like MF said, nothing remotely bad about it. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star, expected outcome. And now Thunder Rosa gets a shot at redemption against Toni Storm, because we all remember when Thunder Rosa got injured, who benefited from that? Toni Storm did.
Yes, she did.
So you think Thunder Rosa hasn't forgotten about that? Not on your life. So Dynasty. That's the earliest possible date that this match should.
Oh, it's official. It's confirmed. It's going to be at Dynasty.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, MF. It's not down the line. It's Dynasty. So
all right,
perfect. They nailed it. So 2.5, 2 3/4. Michael Bullock, Thunder Rosa now has a shot at redemption against the woman who benefited from Thunder Rosa being injured. Toni Storm, she took that ball and she ran with it.
Yeah, but I think but Thunder Rosa is going to look to stop that ball from rolling when she gets her opportunity at Dynasty to right the wrong. So 2.5, 2 3/4 by default. This was the worst fight of the night, even though, like you said, there wasn't anything bad about it at all. So, yes, there's really nothing more to say. So, I think it's main event segment time, and it's contract signing time. Oh, that's something me and Florio love here.
What does that usually mean, JBL?
It doesn't end well at all.
And this one damn sure did not. MF, set it up. MF, are you there?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. It was basically like you said. It was it was really more than anything else. It was the big one. It was Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland, and yeah, here we go. It was the contract signing. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Segment of the night here. The final segment on tonight's show was the contract signing with AEW World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe and his challenger at Dynasty, Swerve Strickland. It ended with Samoa Joe leaving Swerve in a pool of his own blood after beating him down with a chain wrapped around his hand. The look on Joe's face when Swerve got back up and laughed at him was perfect. Joe ran back to the ring and put him through a table. And that's really all I can say on that. So segment of the night for me, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, segment of the night for me as well. I mean, yeah, it did not end well. I mean, and Swerve Strickland, I mean, he's trying to play, mind games with Samoa Joe, and so much so that when he signed the contract, he signed it with his own blood. I mean, oh my freaking goodness. I mean, and it seemed like he enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'm saying this right now. I really think this is where Swerve Strickland's going to get his moment at Dynasty. So we'll see what happens here. But MF, yes, it didn't end well for Swerve Strickland after this contract signing, but the man signed the contract in his own blood.
Sick.
Oh, my
Sick.
gosh.
I'm gonna say it, man. That was crazy, man. That was wild. You know what? Whenever you see a man sign another man's contract with the blood, yo, that just went nuts. That's insane. Yeah, I really got nothing more to say. This was as good as you could have gotten. Nothing more to say. Florio, you guys always treasure and you always love contract signings. And well, did that pique your interest for the pay-per-view that's coming up in a few weeks?
100%. It absolutely did. There is no question about that. Let me get into the overall review here. I lead off on it anyway, so let me dive on in. Let's see. Tonight's show had a lot to enjoy, but it felt like the biggest issue was how it was all scheduled. Certain matches could have been spaced out more effectively, and some non-wrestling segments would have fit better in different places. Ending the show with the contract signing was fine, but AEW was billing itself as the place where the best wrestlers wrestle. Will Ospreay versus Powerhouse Hobbs would have been a much better way to end the show. One of the best things we saw all night was that Battle of the Wills, and it really illustrated how underused and underrated Powerhouse Hobbs is as a performer. All the matches were solid to good to great, and the contract signing was good too. So somewhere around, I'm leaning towards a solid 8 out of 10 for me. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me as well. I mean, there's really nothing more for me to say on it, so it's yours, Fletch.
8 out of 10. I really got nothing more to add, guys. We're done. We're out of here. All right. Tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern, right here on Brace Fan 95. We're gonna do a special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN, as we will have obviously the preview of Stand and Deliver, the preview of both nights of WrestleMania. We are definitely getting that in. And also, are we previewing the Final Four tomorrow, guys, or are we doing it tonight?
Whatever you want to do, MF.
I think we could do it tomorrow. Yeah, we could do the Final Four tomorrow. I think we can add it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll do that. We'll do it tomorrow. And then from there, obviously, no show on Friday because obviously we want to get ready. We're gonna be so glued into the you're gonna be so glued into the entire Hall of Fame. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the recap of night 1 of WrestleMania. Sunday's night 2, and then we do it all over again with Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio on Monday. So with that said, thank you everybody for watching. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. Be a friend, tell a friend, say something nice. You can actually change their life. And until then, have a good night, everybody. So long for now, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Goodbye!